the National Weather Service has confirmed EF3 tornadoes touched down in Beaver Creek, Trotwood, and Salina, Ohio, leaving behind, as you can see, a path of destruction. We have a map for you showing the cities and their relation to Dayton. We have learned 81-year-old Melvin Hanna from Salina was killed when a vehicle crashed into his home. More than 60 people suffered storm-related injuries and are being treated at area hospitals. City and state officials are saying it's a miracle there weren't more deaths. I'm joined by anchor Tanya O'Rourke and chief meteorologist Steve Raleigh. Tanya, it is certainly an emotional day in the Dayton area.
It really is. And as I stand here, I'm in Trotwood. Thank you, Kristen, for tossing this out to me. And let me tell you about Henry, who lived in that duplex on the left side there and his neighbors to the right. And you heard him say he got under his bed. And what you didn't hear him say was a few seconds later, he looked up and he saw the sky above him. And his first thought was not for himself, was not for his things, but for his 85-year-old neighbors who live just to the right of him as you're looking at his home. And he had to help them get free, make sure they were okay. He worked to get them out of that home. We spoke to him about this. Again, he didn't care about his TVs or anything else. He wanted to make sure that they were okay. So a lot of people really helping each other here. We're seeing that here. As you said, emotional out here for these folks. It's almost eerily quiet. People I sort of take it as they're stunned here by what they're seeing. This is happening here in Trotwood. Up in Beaver Creek, much of the same. And our Evan Millward is standing by live there. Evan?
Yeah, Tanya, you know, one of my friends, I'm from Beaver Creek, last night described it as a shell shock here. You know, they get close calls here a lot, but never a direct hit like this, and certainly not of this magnitude. The stories that are coming out of this storm are as impressive as the damage itself. Look, it may look like it's just all, you know, roofing. It's not. There is so much happening here, and the stories of the people who hunkered down at just the last second and saved their lives are incredible. Allie Kramer was up here this morning and talked to a guy who jumped in his bathtub in the area we're in right now, right as everything around him came down. The bathtub was the only thing left standing of his house. Just a couple of blocks from where we are, and a couple hours ago, we talked to Pat Freeze. She grabbed her husband as she got another tornado warning on her phone, and they jumped into their small interior bathroom, and I mean small. You were looking at that video there. The two of them are about all that fit in there, but they got in and got the door shut. Right as something blew through their garage door, you can see, not even the door, the brick wall. You can see that brick wall. It's like someone punched a life-size human hole in it. That is just the beginning of their damage. The insulation got blown out of their attic and out of their walls, making it snow basically inside their home. And before you say, let me guess, she says it sounded like a freight train, let Pat dispel that myth for you. What did this sound like?
Just a huge wind. You know, everybody says it sounds like a train. It doesn't sound like a train. It was just a huge wind and then everything breaking at the same time. You could hear glass breaking, things hitting the house. We may not stay here.
Oh, yeah.
Probably will if we can. If we can lock it up solid, we'll leave. Otherwise, we won't.
And a lot of people in this part of Beaver Creek, this northwestern part of Beaver Creek, thinking much the same thing. Do we stay? Do we go? How much can we get done while we still have daylight today? And because Cincinnati really is the center of the universe, Pat Freeze's son is a Cincinnati firefighter. He was doing some housework today. She was supposed to be there to help him. Now, he's the one who says he needs to be here to help her. She had a lot of help already. They made quick work of that damage, but they still have so much work here in Beaver Creek to do. Tanya?